Good evening. My name is Edward Sanshin Oberholtzer. I'm the resident priest and guiding teacher here at the Joseph Priestley Zen Sangha in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. We're an affiliate of Empty Moon Zen. So, sit down, shut up, pay attention. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple and direct instructions. And shutting up, sitting down in silence, sitting down quietly, so quietly that you can hear the ash on a burning stick of incense fall to the incense bowl below, so quietly that you can attend to the sound of your own breath, of your own heartbeat, of the blood coursing through your veins. The composer Debussy once said that music is the silence between the notes, an observation later echoed by the man who became known as the Prince of Silence, Miles Davis, who used to advise young musicians, don't play what's there, play what's not there. So here in this early evening, the sun having just set behind the ridge to the west, the river valley fog still wrapped in tatters around the trees just outside my window, let us remember that we are given the greatest of gifts, a gift we give ourselves in following that injunction to shut up. The gift of the silence into which our day will end, the silence with which we sit, the silence that we are. What, after all, is in Debussy's words but that music, the 10,000 things, those 10,000 notes emerge from silence out of emptiness, out of the boundlessness between the two chords on a sheet of music paper, between two breaths, between two trees on the edge of that field out back. Play what's not there, breathe what's not there, and the 10,000 grasses flourish. The poet John Keats knew this and wrote in his Ode to a Grecian Urn, heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter. Therefore, ye soft pipes, play on, not to the sensual ear, but more endeared, pipe to the spirit ditties of no tone. Those unheard melodies, the evening sky darkening into the coming night, silently, voicelessly humming the music of the spheres that Copernicus thought the planets produced as they moved in their orbits. That silence, our silence, sitting here together in the night's gathering gloom, hearing the Dharma sung to us in those ditties of no tone. Our ancestors in the Dharma knew the power of silence. Here in Case 67, in the Blue Cliff Record, we can attend to the silence as Mahasattva Fu expounds the sutra. The koan goes, Emperor Wu of Liang invited Mahasattva Fu to lecture on the Diamond Sutra. On the rostrum, Mahasattva Fu struck the lectern once with his stick and immediately climbed down. The emperor was astounded. Master Ji asked, Your Majesty, do you understand? No, replied the emperor, I do not. Mahasattva Fu, said Ji. Mahasattva Fu has finished the lecture. And so, like the emperor, we might sit in bafflement. What is this nothing, this crack of a stick on the lectern? Silence can be perhaps the most profound of utterances. Mahasattva Fu slammed his stick down on the lectern. This, just this. Fu was an expert in the Diamond Sutra, which has the Buddha ask His disciple, Subhuti, has the Tathagata something he can preach? And Subhuti replied, the Buddha has no doctrine to convey. The truth is ungraspable and inexpressible. Silence calls us to pay attention, and out of its emptiness we're rewarded with the coming forth of all things, with the blossoming of the world around us, with the Dharma. There in that space, in that silence between lifting and slamming down the stick upon the lectern, there, just there, the whole of the Dharma, the whole of the Diamond Sutra, the music emerging from the silence between the notes on the page, playing what was not there, a flickering lamp, a phantom, and a dream. The Diamond Sutra, sung by that bird out there on the wire, the bird that doesn't sing the Diamond Sutra and so sings the Diamond Sutra, the lecturer who doesn't speak on the Diamond Sutra and so speaks on the Diamond Sutra, the physicist who doesn't speak of space-time and so speaks of space-time. The Bodhisattva Manjushri had a word or two to say about this not saying in another case, case 84, also from the Blue Cliff record, the case entitled Vimalakirti's Not To. Vimalakirti asked Manjushri, what is the Bodhisattva gate to the Dharma of not to? Manjushri said, my idea is this. In all phenomena, there are no words, no explanations, no presentations, no consciousness. There is freedom from all questions and answers. That is the gate to the Dharma of not to. Suedo, the compiler of and commentator on the Blue Cliff record, asked, what will Vimalakirti say? And followed with, I know all about that. Emerges from silence, from that blessed silence, that crack of the stick, that Dharma gate of not to, form and emptiness. Katsuki Sadeka cites an unnamed sutra with the words, you preached nothing, I heard nothing, no preaching and no hearing. That is true prajna. That is true wisdom. And out of the silence, what will he say? John Cage, composer and student of D.T. Suzuki, gave a hint in his spoken piece, The Lecture on Nothing. What we require is silence, but what silence requires is that I go on talking. The Dharma of not to, there are no words, and therefore there are words. Words emerging from silence, music sounding forth from that empty space between notes. And more to the point, perhaps in Cage's most infamous work, now known as 4 minutes and 33 seconds, a piece consisting of nothing but rests. In each of its 3 movements, just rests. It was first performed in an auditorium in Woodstock, New York. The windows opened to let in the breezes of a summer afternoon. The silence of the performance, filled with the sounds of shuffling feet, of exasperated sighs, of coughs and sneezes, of people angrily pushing their seats back and making for the exits. And through those open windows of that hall, bird songs, wind rustling through the leaves of the trees, the laughter of a passing pedestrian outside, the sound of a beating heart, music from the silence between the notes, the early evening quiet, the sound of a bell. Thank you.